In the summer of 1984, a young computer scientist named Alexei Pajitnov was working at the Soviet Academy of Sciences in Moscow. He was tasked with testing a new type of computer, the Electronica 60. To make this job more interesting, Pajitnov decided to create a simple game. Little did he know that this game would become one of the most popular and enduring video games of all time. Pajitnov drew inspiration from a puzzle game called Pentamino. In Pentamino, players arrange different shapes made of 5 squares to form a rectangle. Pajitnov simplified this concept, using shapes made of 4 squares instead. He called these shapes tetrominos. The name Tetris came from combining tetromino with tennis, Pajitnov's favorite sport. The first version of Tetris was simple, just falling blocks on a black and white screen, but it was incredibly fun to play. The core gameplay of Tetris is deceptively simple. Players are presented with a rectangular playing field, often called the well or matrix. This well is typically 10 units wide and 20 units tall. The game begins with an empty well, and pieces start falling from the top of the screen. These falling pieces are the tetrominos, shapes made up of 4 square blocks arranged in different configurations. There are 7 different tetromino shapes, each named after the letter they resemble: I, O, T, S, Z, J, and L. As each piece falls, the player can move it left or right and rotate it. The goal is to create complete horizontal lines across the well. When a line is completed, it disappears, and any blocks above it fall down to fill the space. The game gets progressively harder as you play, with pieces falling faster and faster. While the basic rules of Tetris are simple, mastering the game requires skill and strategy. One key technique is the T-spin, where players manipulate the T-shaped piece into tight spaces. This move can clear lines in seemingly impossible situations and is crucial for high-level play. Another important skill is stacking, where players build their pile in a way that leaves gaps for the long eyepiece to clear multiple lines at once. Over the years, additional features have been added to enhance the Tetris experience. The ghost piece is a transparent outline that shows where the current piece will land. The next cue displays the upcoming pieces, allowing for better strategizing. Some versions also include a hold cue, where players can store a piece for later use. These features have made Tetris more accessible to new players while also adding depth for experienced ones. High-level players often aim to maximize their score, not just survive as long as possible. One of the most remarkable things about Tetris is how addictive it can be. Many players report experiencing the Tetris effect, where they see falling blocks in their mind's eye even when not playing. This phenomenon has been the subject of scientific study. The rules are easy to understand, but the gameplay offers endless variety. Each game is different, presenting new challenges and opportunities. The increasing difficulty as the game progresses also creates a sense of tension and excitement. Another factor is what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. This is the tendency for people to remember uncompleted tasks better than completed ones. In Tetris, there's always another piece falling, another line to clear. The quick feedback loop of Tetris, place a piece, clear a line, see your score go up, creates a constant stream of small rewards. Beyond its addictive nature, Tetris has been the subject of numerous scientific studies. Researchers have found that playing Tetris can have several positive effects on the brain. One study showed that playing Tetris led to increased gray matter in the brain. Another study found that Tetris could help prevent post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Participants who played Tetris shortly after watching traumatic film clips had fewer intrusive memories of the trauma. Tetris has also been shown to improve spatial skills. Good spatial skills are important for many fields, including science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Some educators have even suggested using Tetris as a teaching tool to help students develop these skills. Regular Tetris players often report improved problem-solving skills and an increased ability to make quick decisions. While more research is needed, it's clear that Tetris is more than just a fun pastime. The journey of Tetris from Pajitnov's computer to the world stage is a fascinating tale of Cold War intrigue and business dealings. In the Soviet Union of the 1980s, all intellectual property belonged to the state. This meant that Pajitnov couldn't profit from his creation. Despite this, he was happy to share the game with others. Tetris first spread through the Soviet bloc countries. It then made its way to Hungary, where it caught the attention of a British software salesman named Robert Stein. Stein saw the potential in Tetris and began negotiations to secure the rights to sell it outside the Soviet Union. After complex negotiations, Tetris finally made its way to the West. It was released for various home computers and arcade machines. But its biggest break came when Nintendo decided to bundle it with their new handheld console, the Game Boy. As Tetris grew in popularity, it began to permeate popular culture. References to the game started appearing in TV shows, movies, and music. One famous reference is from The Simpsons. Bart daydreams about arranging his family as Tetris pieces. The game is also referenced in The Big Bang Theory and Family Guy. Several artists have created Tetris-inspired music. There are even Tetris-themed clothes and accessories. While the core gameplay of Tetris has remained largely unchanged since its creation, the game has evolved in many ways over the years. Early versions were simple, with basic graphics and sound. As technology improved, so did the presentation of Tetris. Modern versions feature high-resolution graphics, catchy music, and various special effects. One significant evolution was the introduction of multiplayer modes. While the original Tetris was a solitary experience, later versions allowed players to compete against each other. Some multiplayer modes let players send completed lines to their opponent's screen, adding a new layer of strategy to the game. Online multiplayer has taken this even further, allowing Tetris fans to compete with players from around the world. Another major development was the introduction of different game modes. The rise of mobile gaming has given Tetris a new lease on life, with features like touch controls and augmented reality modes. While many people enjoy Tetris as a casual pastime, there's also a thriving competitive scene. Competitive Tetris takes the game to a whole new level, with players demonstrating incredible skills and strategies. These high-level players can make split-second decisions, executing complex moves with breathtaking speed and precision. One of the most famous competitive Tetris events is the Classic Tetris World Championship, or CTWC. This annual tournament, held since 2010, brings together the world's best players to compete on original Nintendo Entertainment System hardware. The tournament has helped revive interest in the classic version of the game and has produced some truly legendary moments. In 2018, a 16-year-old player named Joseph Saley shocked the Tetris world by defeating 7-time champion Jonas Neubauer. Competitive Tetris isn't just about playing fast. It requires deep strategic thinking and the ability to plan several moves ahead. The competitive scene has also driven innovation in Tetris strategy, with new techniques and approaches constantly being developed. Beyond its entertainment value, Tetris has found applications in education and therapy. Some educators have used Tetris to teach concepts in mathematics and spatial reasoning. The game's grid-based layout and geometric shapes make it a natural fit for discussing topics like area, perimeter, and rotational symmetry. In the field of psychology, Tetris has been used as a tool for cognitive training. Studies have shown that playing Tetris can improve cognitive skills like problem-solving, critical thinking, and decision-making. Some researchers have even explored using Tetris as a form of brain training to help older adults maintain cognitive function. Tetris has also been investigated as a potential therapeutic tool. As mentioned earlier, it has shown promise in preventing PTSD symptoms. Additionally, some studies have suggested that Tetris might be helpful in managing cravings, whether for food, drugs, or other addictive substances. While more research is needed, these studies highlight the potential of Tetris as more than just a game. As we just celebrated the 40th anniversary of Tetris on June 6, 2024, it's clear that this simple yet brilliant game has left an indelible mark on the world. From its humble beginnings in a Soviet computer lab to its status as a global phenomenon, Tetris has captured the imagination of millions, remaining popular even as video game technology has advanced. The enduring appeal of Tetris lies in its perfect balance of simplicity and depth. Anyone can learn to play in minutes, but mastering it can take a lifetime. This accessibility and endless replayability keep players coming back. Tetris, the game that came from Russia with love, is here to stay.